All right, we're back with some more Q&A. Today's question is, how do I avoid the dead bedroom problem that I see older couples complaining about? Let's dig in. So the dead bedroom problem basically breaks down into you're a married couple or a couple that's been living together for a long time and you just stop sleeping together. What that is a symptom of is a long tail of failure throughout the relationship. If you don't schedule certain things like having sex with one another, then eventually a week will go by, 2 weeks will go by, a month will go by, and then those poor souls, it'll be a year or multiple years that go by, and it's just not happening. And so besides scheduling, what can you do to cut this off at the pass? One of the foundational things in any relationships, not just an intimate relationship, is you have to be interested in one another. If you want to be around each other and talk to them, communicating is a big part of keeping your intimate life alive and healthy and functioning. So if you don't have shared interests, if there's nothing that interests you with that other person, then you won't talk to them, you won't make time to be with them, to talk to them, and you'll eventually just start living two separate lives and in some ways just become roommates. This might get a little bit of hate, but you have to stay physically attractive. It doesn't matter if you are in a relationship for 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. Think about when you're dating someone or you're making yourself available to date. You're keeping your body in peak physical shape. You're doing things to make yourself look good and feel good, and all of those little things that add up and help boost your confidence. Well, there's this thing, at least that I've seen for lots and lots of years, that as soon as you get married, you stop working out as hard, you stop focusing on your health nearly as much. And one thing leads to another. It's been a month since you worked out, and then 2 months since you worked out, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, and you just kind of lost that drive to work out and look good. And if your partner does not find you physically attractive, they will not sleep with you. Certainly not nearly as often. I'm sure it does happen occasionally, but my wife and I, we've kept ourselves in near peak physical condition since we met, and that helps keep our love life alive just because we're still physically attracted to one another. So if your physical body goes down the toilet and your attraction just tanks, I think there's two parallel things going on with one primary driver. I would say it's your hormones that have tanked. Now, one thing that people suffer from, and I suffered from this myself, is even though I was working out regularly to try to counteract the stressful job that I had, but my hormones just tanked. And I didn't know it at the time, but I ended up getting a blood panel and I found out that my testosterone was just in a dumpster. So even though the sexual drive wasn't where I would have liked it to have been, I at least had an indicator that everything else in my lifestyle was going fairly well, except my hormones were tanked. So once I traced back what causes your hormones to tank, that's your testosterone primarily for men, I was able to at least go back and see if I turn this lever and change this habit, will this increase my testosterone? If I change this habit or change that habit, what happens? And eventually, through a building block process, I was able to increase my testosterone to levels that I would argue were higher than in my 20s. And that was just a slow, methodical approach to changing a lot of little things in my life and some big things. You can't drink like a fish. You can't drink like you're some college kid and expect your testosterone to be through the roof. It doesn't work like that. Alcohol is a poison and disrupts and destroys your whole testosterone making system. So unless you get your drinking under control, for example, that's one lever that you can pull that'll have outsized benefits to your hormones and your testosterone. And finally, I think the last really key part of a healthy, intimate relationship with your partner is discussing the expectations of what you both want. Now, obviously, during certain parts of the month, the female body, she just does not want to be intimate in the same way that you probably want to be intimate, right? It's just the hormonal cycle, she's not interested. So that week aside, I think you both need to discuss what you're looking for regularity. If you're being intimate with one another, twice a week, is that enough for both of you? Maybe if you're 20 or in your early 20s, you want to be intimate 5 days a week or 7 days a week. And in some cases, that's just not possible. whether you're getting home late from work or you had a horrible commute and a horrible day at work and you're just not in the mood, and then that sets the other person up for failure because there's this expectation that 7 days a week you're gonna be together. But I think that's an individual basis that you need to talk to your partner with and just figure out what is that right periodicity. And then also just think about, if it doesn't feel right, then don't force it. Maybe it's one of your scheduled days and it's just both of you or one of you is just not in the mood, then just reschedule for the next day or just push it off. And I would caution though, don't do that too often. Onesie, twosie here or there, that's probably okay. But if this becomes like a regular thing of, we had it scheduled for 3 days a week and it's only happening 1 day a week, and this becomes, week after week, it's a serious conversation that you should have to figure out what exactly is going wrong and what are some like small course corrections that you can do to, keep the love life alive, but make sure everyone's happy as well, and make sure it's not some underlying problem that's kind of thwarting what you both kind of want. All right, that's all I have for this one. I will catch you on the next one.